this frame right here, right? And this knee over here is free to start working to get into his hip, right? But sometimes the guy on top feels that, doesn't like it. I do this all the time. I'll double scoop. So bring this arm inside my hips out over here. Yep. And exactly. When the guy's trying to turn and face me, I'll do this all the time. I love this, right? Boom. Not everybody will do this to you, but if they do it, it completely shuts down our other escape, right? But what became free now? Now I can go this way, right? I got one problem though. Before I go that way, this hand over here, my little sweet little right hand is stuck, okay? So I gotta get that, so remember I'm here. This is my good position. I gotta get this hand out, which is easy to do. All I wanna do is make a little space. I'm just gonna get this hand ready to escape, and I'm gonna bump. Whoop, and now I got this hand where I want it. I'm gonna bring this elbow to his chest. This is super important. If I start to escape this way, and I just let my arms get out here and I turn, Sal's in heaven. He's like, well, I got his back, I got his arm, like I got it. This is great for him. And this is usually kind of what I'm hoping people will do. When I go to double scoop, I'm like, please turn away from me, right? Because now they're gonna get my back. So what you're gonna do is it's a subtle, but it is very important. I'm gonna bump, I'm gonna get this through, and then this elbow remains as a frame on Sal's chest. Just for a moment. I don't need it to stay there very long, okay? We're talking a split second here. For me to be able to, this is called the running escape, okay? You should never run from your problems, but this is like a feint. We're pretending to run from our problems, and then we're gonna attack our problems, okay? So I'm gonna take a couple of steps while keeping this in place. So important. Take a couple little steps and load up that's all I'm trying to do is load this step up. I'm making myself just a little bit of space because Sal's tight on me, keeping this in his chest, a couple of tiny steps, and as soon as I get my step loaded up, we're just doing our little partial inversion we've been doing this whole time, right? Which would be, as soon as I get my step loaded, we're coming right back to our guard. We're here. Sal scoops both sides. I gotta clear this hand, so I get my hand ready, bump. Maybe I have to bump a couple of times, right? Maybe I have to do like some little bumps. Boom. As soon as my hand's clear, we're gonna start a running escape, where we're gonna frame on his chest or his neck, take a couple of quick little steps. Boom. Back to our guard. So everybody give it a try, 1, 2, 3. Concept, Chris, let me borrow you. All right, so if Chris is here, I got to get my hand. He double scooped. Double scooped. Yep. I know I can't go in. I'm gonna go away from him. I'm gonna get my hand back. I'm gonna get my frame. One of the things we talk about all the time, and this is really important in this moment to remember, we build a frame and then we escape behind that frame, right? Without this frame in place, if he just stays glued to me, I can run all day. So just stay tight to my back. I can run all day, and I'm not going anywhere, right? Because he's sticking with me. I've got to make a frame and then escape behind that frame, or in this case, in front of that frame, however you want to look at it. But I'm using the frame to hold him where he's at just for a split second so I can make some space for myself, right? Now that I've made some space for myself, this escape has a much better chance of working versus if I just do it right here. If I start trying to go right here, it's not going to work. So it's this literally called the running escape. I've got to run a little bit, and then I can get my escape going because I've got the space to do it. Does that make sense? Yes. All of that, and this is kind of like, I think Hickson has that thing he calls invisible jujitsu. That's his niche. This is the invisible jujitsu. Like no one would notice or even see that frame there. It's not really visible to anybody, but it's the key to this whole move working. Is that frame is holding him just for a split second for me to run.